Okay, so breaking down audiences, and what I really want to talk about now is breaking down saved audiences and everything that you can kind of do within that. Obviously, things are changing. It's everything that's going on with Facebook and their algorithm changes, plus privacy issues, GDPR, all those things coming down the pike. Excuse me. Facebook is going through and basically culling the herd and getting rid of their third party data aggregators. Me personally, in my opinion, this is a move that they've probably been planning for a while. Now they have a reason to. That way, they can run with their own data and they don't have to use third parties anymore. One of those things, like if you see in here, what has happened is, so if I upload a custom audience, that means, like email lists or things like that. So like, for example, these are leads, all the leads from last year. I have to go in and I have to click accept TOS terms of service. So you might want to look through this if you're unfamiliar, but basically it's saying that, hey, these people actually opted in to, your campaigns, or you got these emails, this data legitimately, and you didn't just like hack it off the internet. So it's up to you on what you want to do, but I just hit accept. Cool. Awesome. Sounds great. Okay, and then it'll go through and then put all of its info in there. Usually what you're seeing too is if it is custom audience, they will never really show you the audience size. They might give you arbitrary numbers, but they're going to keep that data from you as well. So there's something to look forward to and get used to now that things are changing. But what I really wanted to discuss with y'all is saved audiences. And I know I'd previously mentioned this, but when doing audience research through audience insights and then deciphering whether or not that is actually a good fit for running ads, two different things, because audience insights will give you the research. However, you may pull up a page on there, like Sam's fishing page or something, right? And it may pull up on audience insights, but it doesn't actually pull up into saved audiences. Thus, you cannot actually target it. So you got to kind of play around with things a little bit. Now, for this video in particular, what I want to really go over is this detailed targeting portion right here. Get used to it, play with it, just like get in there and just like realize, really get into everything that's broken down in here. So right now you have the ability to go in demographics, interests, behaviors. More categories are going to be your third-party categories. These are the ones that are definitely getting shut down. I love how to scroll here. But anyways, Axiom, Datalogix, things like this. I used to use Axiom a lot, right? And now I'm getting away from it. Basically, where we find ourselves is it's not good or bad. It's just things change. This is the mindset we constantly have to have while doing digital, while being online. It's always like this. It's always been like this. So I'm not stressed out about it. You shouldn't be stressed out about it. We just got to change what we do and be creative about it. So when we look at like what Axiom's been able to do, especially with all of their data that you can pull up in here, the personas, this is obviously mainly through Australia. When you look at the different data aggregators, you got Axiom, Info Group. What's the other one down here? Datalogix, Personix. Then you have Roy Morgan Research out of Australia, and you got another one out of the UK. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, so they're all different, but at the end of the day, I firmly do believe that you'll still be able to access this. Well, you may not be able to access this information, but the pixel can, right? So just because you can't get in there and then detail your targeting down to like income or based off behaviors and things like that, we just got to be creative and get around it. So let's just think about staying away from more categories for now, because by probably October, these will be gone. In fact, a lot of these behaviors and demographics will probably be gone too. As much as I love using behaviors, we got to get used to like doing things a little bit differently. But if it's still available to you now, use it and abuse it, right? For behaviors, things I like to target, obviously it's based on what you're trying to accomplish. But job titles, income, obviously if they're in the B2B network, you can go on company size, industry, seniority is a great one too. You can target executive C-level guys and gals, excuse me. But you see here, partner category based on information provided by Oracle Data Cloud. It's a third party, right? So like I said, they're getting rid of this. When you break all this down, like that's cool. Obviously, it's like it leads you right into it. But even then, I don't like. I might use these to begin with, to sort of test ideas, but then I'm going to back off of these completely, and I'm going to go back to my seed audiences. But in essence, these are good to like. Here's how I would put it. This is my own opinion. Obviously, you guys can do whatever you want. These are great for just testing ideas, being like, hey, I just need to get right in front of this very targeted market real quick to test something out. These are not, you shouldn't use these as long-term solutions, basically. And in fact, these won't always be accurate either. So take it for what it's worth, just kind of play around with it, use it while you got it. But at the end of the day, what you should be really getting into is the interests, okay? And this is how you get creative. This is how you beat out your competition. This is really how you take it to that next level. And in fact, it's actually cheaper to target interests than it is behaviors and demographics. There's a huge correlation between the cost of things and then using targeting like demographics and behaviors. So keep that in mind. When we're looking at interests, go through these. I'm sure you'll find yours. You'll find your niches, right? Like if for me as a marketer, if I'm targeting other marketers, I'm looking at pages that they like. I'm looking at people and influencers they like Gary Vee and Ryan Deiss and Ezra Firestone and all these people. And I may be targeting them. And then not only that, I may be building out layered audiences, which I'll show you how to do here in a minute. But maybe building out those layered audiences to then specifically target, like if you're in this small group of people, then you're definitely who I want to be talking to, right? So keep that in mind, play around with these, really get into it. I would say dive into the interests. If like you're going to get ads up and rolling in the next like 24 hours and these are still available to you, then use demographics, use behaviors, and really get detailed in there. And then on the next video here, I'll really show you how to do like your layering and how to really target who you want to be targeting.